Okay, hello everyone. As you can see, if you've been paying attention to what I've been putting out, you realize that it's only been 5 days since my last one was put out, and since this one is going to be short, I think probably less than 10 minutes long, don't think I'm going to have a hard time putting it out like I did the last one. So let's go ahead and get started. As we will see, the Declaration of Independence is not titled as such. It is titled A Declaration. This, in my mind, brings up what I think is a very interesting question or two. Thinking logically, I am of the opinion that the King of Britain would have seen it as a declaration of war. So, do you think it could have been or was a declaration of war before it was meant to be seen as a declaration of independence? Why was it a declaration if it was meant to be a declaration of independence? Or was it first meant to be the declaration of war and then to become a declaration of independence? Or is it possible that there are two declarations? Let's take a look at them in the National Archives and see if we can conclude anything. Give me a moment while I get this first one brought up here. Okay, the National Archives, we can see the headline on this is the Dunlap Broadside, first printing of the Declaration of Independence. And as we can see by looking at it, it doesn't say it's a Declaration of Independence. It says in Congress, July 4th, 1776, a declaration. Be in the title, a declaration. Okay, so we'll continue and see what else we can find out. Okay, so now let's see how it comes up if the search is not worded correctly. Give me a second and we'll get the next one brought up here. Well, isn't that interesting? It's got a headline of Declaration of Independence, a transcription. But look how it starts. In Congress, July 4th, 1776. No title whatsoever. But it has added the following: the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. So in my mind, if I use logic, this tells me that this is a totally different document from the original, even if it is left untitled and just meant to be seen as a Declaration of Independence, which I don't have a problem with, but this is again proof of how deceptive and how much they like to hide things in plain sight. And if you're not paying very close attention, you're going to miss the obvious. So let's continue here in just a second. Okay, so we saw that there are two versions in the archives: the original titled A Declaration and the one known as the Declaration of Independence with no title at all. Okay, and the one known as the Declaration of Independence also added the following: the unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. Okay, again, in my mind, that makes it a complete and totally separate document. So now let's take a look at what is on display at the Beinecke Library. So give me a second while I get it brought up here. Okay, this is from Yale News, and we see it has a headline: First printing of Declaration of Independence on display at the Beinecke Library. We can see if we look at it that it is the original because it says in Congress, July 4th, 1776, a declaration, not of war or not of independence, just a declaration. Again, this is another reason that I think we most likely have two declarations: the original one here, and then the second one that most people know of as the actual Declaration of Independence. Let's continue. And again, the question is it possible that our country has two declarations? Well, this is what is on display at the museum.archives.gov. So let's take a look at it and see what it is. Well, how very interesting, as we can see here. The headline says Declaration of Independence, but when we look at the actual document, it says in Congress, July 4th, 1776, but it doesn't have any title whatsoever. However, it does have that extra added on where it says the unanimous declaration of the 13 states of America. So let's open up the transcript and see where that takes us. And then again, isn't this interesting? It's the same one that, if you're not careful, that you'll always bring up, where it says, in Congress, July 4th, 1776, with no title whatsoever. But it does have that same unanimous declaration of the 13 United States of America. And again, I can only conclude in my own mind, thinking logically, that this is a complete and separate document from the original, a declaration. What do you think? I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. Okay, as you saw, when transcript was clicked on, it brought up the untitled Declaration of Independence, not the original, a declaration. In my opinion, this is a perfect example of how things are hidden and are changed to meet the agenda to keep us deceived and controlled. If that transcript link brought up the original, as same as the one in the Benecke Library should do, it might cause people to question what kind of declaration it was. And they do not want that at all. I think that is why they word everything in ways that keep questions to a bare minimum. Again, this should prove to you just how important the words really are. You truly do have to pay attention, very much so. Realize that I'm not trying to get you to believe any of my conclusions on what has been brought to light here. What I hope is that all of you have open minds and will think logically about it, then reach your own conclusions, and God willing, you will then share them in the comments. Okay, that's it for now. Oh, excuse me. Hope you are starting to see how important it is to have a good comprehension and an open mind to all that is and all that has been. Next time, we'll most likely start covering the Articles of Confederation. I'm guessing that most of you have never taken the time to look them up. Guessing that most of you do not know how many articles it contains or how many presidents we've had under them unless you have watched my past videos where they were discussed. Know ahead of time it will most likely be another very long one. So until next time, I bless all of you. You all are in my prayers, and I hope you'll keep me in your prayers. And as always, I hope all of what I have been putting out is and has helped to open your eyes even more. Remember to follow, like, and share across all your social media. And never ever forget that we are in a war, a global spiritual war between good and evil. And if we don't win it in the right way, all we're doing is setting ourselves up for evil to continue in the world and be able to take grasp of our lives again in a short period of time. So the words are going to be a very, very big part of winning it the right way, in my opinion. Again, God bless all of you.